The Blushing Lass was a quaint cafe that many young girls enjoyed visiting inside of the outer part of the city. The cafe specialized in desserts, hosting a wide selection of cakes. When Han first entered this cafe, he was impressed by how the establishment was set up. It was exquisite, giving off what someone imagined a princess would experience. Waiters and waitresses were dressed in fancy uniforms, making themselves appear like butlers and maids, respectively. What demonstrated the owner's business skills was how girls had the opportunity to purchase a monthly membership card, allowing them to receive a discount on the purchase of cakes. Pricing on the cakes ranged from a few silvers up to 20 silvers. Higher-end cake slices had fancy candy decorations, the kind you would see in those cooking competitions on TV. Regardless of the price, all the cakes were soft and moist, covered with sweet icing. This cafe seemed to reflect the idea of the academy more than the academy itself. It didn't matter whether you were noble or commoner, everyone received an equal quality of service. Everyone treated one another with respect, so the atmosphere was always pleasant. Han and his group grabbed a seat near the back of the cafe. The layout was similar to the other businesses, where it was rectangular. Compared to the other stores, the Blushing Lass had an open ceiling layout, where the second floor was more like a ledge and freed up the upward space. Instead of having windows, there were plenty of artwork with forests and grassy fields. It gave the illusion that you were out enjoying the outside with friends. "Welcome. Will all of you be taking your usual teas?" A cute-looking girl in a maid outfit asked them once they settled themselves. "That would be great, Samantha," Lily answered. Lily was a commoner girl that grew up in an isolated village near the Elven Kingdom. She was initially timid in the class, but after Celine had started to invite her out to hang out with them, she began to open up. Specializing in long-range magic, she would often be in the rear of the group as she fired off ice magic. Aside from when he hung out with the group after class, Han didn't know any of these people apart from a superficial level. They were friendly and fun to hang out with, but he didn't have the emotional bond he had with his creations or friends back on Earth. Even though he didn't have a strong relationship with them, a part of him felt that it was necessary to make friends. He didn't know how long he would be in this world, so making friends would improve the overall experience. Though he loved his creations, there was definitely something great about forging new bonds that gave a person warm, fuzzy feelings. Just like in the classroom, Han enjoyed the way he could sit or lay on Anacolis' tail. In this environment, he was somewhat lounging on her as he rested his head on her stomach. None of his other creations had this positive trait to them, which is why he enjoyed his time with her. Anacolis gave him a sexy older sister vibe, the way she cared for him. Like those adult comics where the older sister would try and teach the brother about sex when they secretly just wanted to have sex with their younger brother. "Check it out! They have a new cake!" Celine squealed in excitement before rushing to the display. The way they had it set up, an individual would walk up to the display and pull out a tag. Then you would just hang it on a number that corresponded with your table. This would let servers know what to bring to the table from the kitchen. It helped to free up the process so people could see what they were getting and the servers could focus on just bringing the food. Deciding that he would enjoy something sweet, Han walked to the line of cakes. He saw a lovely chocolate cake with strawberries on top, so he grabbed 2 tags and headed over to the graphical representation of the restaurant, hanging the tag on his table number. When he sat back down, there were already teas waiting for him. Anacolis had poured him a cup. Bringing the cup to his mouth, Han enjoyed the sweet flavor. Though bitter teas were nice, he always preferred to have sweet-tasting teas. Even with ginseng tea, he could squeeze out a lot of honey into it to improve the flavor. "I got you a chocolate cake with strawberries on it," Han told Anacolis after taking a sip of the tea. "You know me so well, master," she said, kissing him on his cheek. Are you sure you guys don't need a room? Celine asked sarcastically. She enjoyed teasing Han about how intimate he always acted with his companions. Anacolis grabbed Han and pulled him close to her and stuck out her tongue while saying, I am not ashamed of letting the world know how much I love Master. You're such a bro, Khan, Celine said to Anacolis while shaking her head. I would be so happy to be Master's older sister. I could look after him even more, and we could sleep with one another in the same bed as we grew up. Her eyes started to zone out as she grinned in bliss and breathed more rapidly while stroking Han's hair. The rest of Han's classmates stared at her with wide eyes as they tried to digest what was happening. As Anacolis was feeding cake into Han's mouth, he listened to his classmates talk about the latest gossip in the city. Have you guys seen the HPC starting to become more active with recruiting? Celine asked the group. One of the guys that tagged along was nodding his head in agreement. Several of the priests cornered me and asked if I was regularly attending service. I was able to make up some excuse and get away from them before they could get me to commit to anything. I've started to hear more classmates talking about how they were planning on joining the church. The girl sitting next to the guy answered. Why is this peculiar? Han asked them, feeling a little confused. On Earth, there's always some religious group that was marketing the benefits of becoming a believer, so this behavior didn't seem unusual. Well, the HPC was always an organization that stayed pretty mild and behind the scenes, especially inside of the city, Celine answered. People never really talked about the HPC, and it was thought to be an extremist group with their belief about the overflow. In the villages, years could go by without seeing one of their members stopping by. Those that experienced the same thing were nodding their heads in agreement. The HPC mainly stuck close to the nobility, so commoners were never really actively recruited, Lydia added. I've been asked by several classmates who weren't nobles to join them at one of their services, Lily said. Taking another bite of the delicious cake, Han pondered. What happens in these meetings, and what benefit is there in joining? I'm not sure, but I've heard that the people that participate tend to change, Lydia mentioned. There was this one girl that I talked with about various things, but after she came back from one of the services, she changed. I know that we only knew one another for a couple of weeks, but I thought we were good friends, she muttered, looking depressed when she thought about losing a friend. Han had some thoughts go through his head.